Pleasure to have you on. Emery, let's break down that game on Sunday. What a game it was. Unfortunately, Sigma on the wrong side of the result, but you guys left it all out there. You answered the bell 7 minutes in with a bullet. Talk about that goal that you scored. Talk about the build-up of those first 7 minutes, the pressure you were applying.
Yeah, we did have quite a bit of pressure on them. And I think I played a 1-2 with Johnny Grant that got intercepted. And I repressured the defender and managed to take the ball off him right outside the 18. The ball was kind of stuck in between my feet, so I needed to gain a little space for myself. And I just don't think the defense or the goalkeeper was expecting a shot. So I just fired one really quickly, hard and low into the corner, and managed to go in.
Emery, let's talk about the day before. Obviously, the game being canceled on Thursday for all four squads in the semis, and then everything had to be made up quickly. It had to take a toll on your body and some of your teammates as well to have that quick turnaround. But I'm sure the adrenaline was still flowing in beating TFC on their own turf and then going to another Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment property at BMO Field and getting ready to win it all. It had to take a toll on your body and mind as you guys were getting ready to kick off.
Yeah, for sure. It's not practical to play back-to-back games, and it's not really like good for your body either. But both teams had the same disadvantages. To be honest, I'd say Vaughan was at more of a disadvantage. Their game was at 7, while ours was at 9 in the morning. So there's disadvantages to both sides of the team, both sides. And of course, it's a final, so we were all pumped up. We were all ready for it. So I wouldn't use that as an excuse for anybody.
You know, Emery, what I loved watching about your squad and Vaughan was there was a great mix of veterans and youth. Your squad had some youngsters that a lot of us are going to hear from days ahead, not only in Canada, but I'm pretty sure in MLS or in Europe. Talk about some of your teammates, some of the youngsters that looked up to you, Emery, that really, needed your guidance throughout this first season in League 1 Ontario.
Oh, for sure. It's a great group of guys, and Sigma's all about playing their young players, and that's it's just a great way that Bobby has the team growing. You know, if it wasn't for their academy, we wouldn't be able to fill out a full team because we did lose about 30 players to college, which was more than our full team. So it was great that the younger kids could have stepped in, and there's handfuls of them that I could mention. But to be honest, there's Marcel Zajic is a player who's definitely going to be one to watch. Mike Matic. We have a lot of players out there. It's just a great group of guys, and they did look up to me and everything, but I didn't try to make that seem like there was any difference between us, to be honest, if that's all right. But those guys are going to be either really good players in the college game or one step better than that, go straight to Europe.
You know, Emery, you guys had a certain style of play you wanted to play, and you did that since day one in League 1 Ontario. You didn't stray away from the style that Coach Bobby wanted from you guys. You didn't play that kick and run. You didn't play that direct style. You spread the ball around, and you used your most important assets out there, which I believe were the brains of each and every player out there to distribute the ball. Talk about the style of play.
Yeah, to be honest, he's been implementing that style of play from day one, since the very first day I got there, which was about 8 years ago. So these guys have been, and he's had these 97s, 98s, even younger. So they've been playing that style of play since probably under 10, under 12. So these kids know the game of soccer, know the right game of soccer. And unfortunately, Vaughan did take advantage of their physicality and did play the longer ball against us, which that's just smart play for them. They knew that we couldn't really handle that because we did have a bunch of younger players that physically wouldn't have been able to match up to their older boys because they did have a good amount of veterans out there. So sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it works, but I think our boys did well throughout the season.
You know, Emery, talk about the fans that came out to support not only your squad but Vaughan. There was a wonderful buzz in the air. People were excited for both teams being there. Your fans were, I would think, a little bit more boisterous, a little bit more active in supporting your squad. That must have been great, scoring that first goal, going over there and celebrating with them. Talk about your fans.
It's soccer's almost, well, the next level of soccer is almost not existing without fans. So we have to give them great respect, and it's a lot of them really had no ties to Sigma, to our team with that, besides being just involved with the club. There's a lot of kids who just played on the younger Sigma teams that were there. So that just shows great respect for them and respect from us for them to just show up for us. So it was nice to have them out there. It's nice to have our families out there, but even for the Vaughan players, they had a good crowd behind them as well. So it was a nice little showing they had.
You know, Emery, you made it as one of the top players on League1 Ontario top players list, along with a lot of great guys on there. You know, from Mohan Babouli, who really tore up the league in the goal scoring department. What a player he's going to be. And, you know, you had so many others. A former teammate, Alex Hallis of yours, and many others. Jonathan Lau, we can go on. Christopher Manella, who is now with TFC in the first team. Santilli, the goalkeeper with Windsor. I look at this lineup, Emery, and I got to be honest, I would not be one bit afraid to go up against a USL squad and not for 1 minute be worried that you guys would be blown out. I think that this squad, this all-star squad, would absolutely go toe-to-toe. What do you think of this talent that's in League1 Ontario? Do you feel that it is going to get better and better? And do you believe that it was important for Ontario to start this league for the youngsters?
Yeah, for sure. Canada needs something like this, and most of the talent, I'd have to say, from just playing with the provincial team and stuff, is the talent's usually out here in Ontario and Vancouver and Quebec. So they need big leagues just for our youth to develop. And it was a good experience for me to come back home and come play at this level. And for sure, to be honest, I think the top 11 League One team would definitely not be outplayed by any USL team. Probably would be a really close match, or we'd actually beat them. I've played in the USL level, and I've played in MLS level, and the 11 named for the top League One 11 is definitely better than most 11s in the USL, which, with no disrespect to them, but that's just the talent that Ontario has, which is funny because these guys are playing for free right now. So it's nice to see that we have that growing in Canada, and hopefully it could only get better, and it's definitely needed, and hopefully one day they could get a fully pro league going on here.
Emery, you played in the NCAA. You started in it. What advice would you like to give some of the youngsters that right now might be in grade 11, grade 12, possibly maybe are good enough to get a scholarship offer down south in NCAA? What are some of the tips and advice you want to give to them?
Definitely to keep working as hard as they can, and as cliche as it is, they can't get anywhere without the grades. I know I wasn't one to like to hear that going into college, but for sure, if you don't have the grades, you can't get there. And if you don't have the grades, you probably end up going to junior college or NAIA, and sometimes those players get forgotten about because the reality is NCAA is where MLS finds their players. And so they need the grades. They need to keep working hard and to stay focused. Don't let these little distractions that are out there to, move them from their path. They need to stay focused on what they really want in life.